Okay, we're going to start with chapter 5, elasticity. Elasticity is something that I'd say last year on the January final exam and midterm, which we're going to have before Christmas this year. Elasticity is something that gave the guys a lot of trouble. Maybe we don't refer back to it enough or anything, but all I'm going to say is that I have found that it's almost 10% of the midterm. Like there's 60 multiple choice and 6 will be on elasticity. So it really pays to get these things down. Again, if you would go and take the outline for chapter 5, it probably will help you stay focused and in the order I'm going. So the first thing is, what is elasticity? Elasticity is a measure of responsiveness of quantity demanded to a change in price. Remember, price does not shift the curve, it slides up and down it. So, by the law of demand, if price goes up, quantity demanded goes down, but how much does it go down? That's what elasticity is all about, okay? An elastic, and just think like stretching a rubber band would be elastic, it stretches a long way, is very responsive. So if price goes up, quantity demanded goes down even more. So if price goes up 10%, quantity demanded goes down greater than 10%. An inelastic, and think of in as insensitive to a change in price, if price goes up 10%, quantity demanded goes down less than 10%. So that would be inelastic. Now, he then talks about necessities and luxuries. Necessities tend to be inelastic or insensitive to price change. And why? Because if the price of insulin goes up, you need it to live, so you're going to still use it. Where luxuries are more elastic, because if the prices go up, you don't need a yacht, so you just decide not to buy one. So necessities are inelastic, luxuries are elastic. Now, close substitutes. If you're thinking of a market with a lot of close substitutes, it's going to be elastic, because if price of, like, say, Coke goes up, many people are going to buy Pepsi. It's a close substitute. So close substitutes will have elastic qualities. And then it depends how you define the market. Now, a narrowly defined market is more elastic. So by narrowly defined, like, think of desserts, all right? There's cake, there's cookies, there's ice cream, there's ices, there's, a lot, a million desserts, there's candy bars, there's candy. So if the price of one goes up, you could substitute something else for your dessert. And that would be a narrow market. But when you go to the broad market, food is inelastic, because there's not real substitutes for food. So the narrow the market, the more elastic. The broader the market, the more inelastic. And finally, time. Time makes everything more elastic. So like right now, if, gas prices are high as I record this at the end of June, but like even if gas prices doubled, tomorrow I probably still have to drive to work. I have to do certain things. But in the long run, the demand for gas becomes more elastic. Why? Because maybe I carpool, maybe I ride my bike to work, maybe I buy an electric car. In the long run, there's more substitutes become available, therefore it becomes elastic. In the short run, things tend to be more inelastic. He then talks, and you don't really need to know the midpoint formula. The formula you need for the elasticity of demand is percentage change in quantity demanded over percentage change in price. And we're going to learn a couple of different elasticity formulas, and they all have the percentage change of quantity demanded on the top. So you just realize that will always be on the top. All right. Now, if the percentage change of quantity demanded over the percentage change of price is greater than 1, it's elastic. All right. And that makes sense. Like if price goes up 10% and quantity demanded goes down 20%, 20 over 10 would give you 2, and that's greater than 1. Therefore, it is elastic. Less than 1 is inelastic, and 1 is what we call unit elastic. Unit elastic has some different features. It is where the highest total revenue is. It's also, at unit elastic, a change in price will equal the same total revenue. Now, how do you find sometimes the percentage change? It would be the new quantity demanded minus the old quantity demanded over the old quantity demanded. So if I'm looking for the percentage change in quantity demanded, it'd be the new quantity demanded minus the old quantity demanded over the old quantity demanded. And then the same thing would be for price. It'd be the new price minus the old price over the old price. And that's going to give you the percentage change. Now, some graphs of elasticity. That is what we call perfectly inelastic. And that's when demand of elasticity equals 0. I try to think of the inelastic, perfectly inelastic, as an I. And the more the demand curve shapes or looks like an I, the more inelastic the curve is. And then I just want to show you the other extreme for a second. And there's more of an elastic curve, flat. The flatter the curve, the more elastic. And then I'll show you perfectly elastic. And that number is infinite. And that is perfectly horizontal. All right. So perfectly elastic, horizontal. The flatter the looking curve, the more elastic. Inelastic, looking perfectly inelastic, looking like an I. The more straight up and down, the more inelastic the curve is. All right, so now we're going to just look at elasticity and total revenue. So just remember that total revenue is price times quantity. So here it's like 4 times 100 is 400. That would be the total revenue. Now, in an inelastic, and remember I said it looks more like an I, the demand curve, and there it is. In inelastic, the price, $1, say 1, times 100 is 100. Now, what's going to happen if price goes up? Remember, because it's inelastic, price is going to go up, but quantity demanded is going to go down a little, but not a lot. So what are we going to see? We're going to see 3 times 80 is 240. So price goes up, total revenue goes up. When price and total revenue are going in the same direction, it is an inelastic product. So one way to test elasticity is the total revenue test. Price up, total revenue up, it's inelastic. Price down, total revenue down, it's inelastic, okay? The second thing is there a flatter curve, and remember I said a flatter curve is going to be elastic. 4 times 50 is 200. Now, what's going to happen here? Price is going to go up, but quantity demanded is going to go down more than the increase of price. So we got price up, total revenue down, because 5 times 20 is 100. So we went from 200 to 100. Price up, total revenue down. That is elasticity. So when there's an inverse relationship between price and total revenue, it is elastic. When there is a direct correlation between price and total revenue, it is inelastic, okay? And I think of it, again, price up, total revenue up, like both my hands are going up in the same direction. I'm like an I for inelastic. Price down, total revenue down again. I'm like a straight I for inelastic. When they, are opposing, then it is elastic, like here. Now, price up, total revenue the same, that is unit elastic. Price up, total revenue the same, that is unit elastic. Okay. I'm just going to draw this here quickly. In a linear line like this, unit elastic usually occurs in the middle. So it'd be unit elastic, elastic up on the top, and then inelastic on the, below the unit elastic here. All right, so it goes elastic, unit elastic, inelastic. And I just think E before I, so elastic here, unit elastic again, the highest total revenue. And that makes sense, right? Because right after unit elastic, if price goes down, total revenue goes down. All right, so that's inelastic. And when you get to elastic, price goes up, total revenue goes down. So unit elastic is the highest. And then it'd be elastic and then inelastic on the curve. Okay. Now, we're going to go to income elasticity. All right. Now, income elasticity, again, is percentage change of quantity demanded on the top over percentage change of income. Percentage change of quantity demanded on the top over the percentage change of income. Now, in the elasticity of demand, it's absolute value. It doesn't matter negative or positive. It's just greater than 1, less than 1, and 1. However, for income elasticity, the negative and positive does matter. So what does income elasticity tell you? If it's a positive number, it tells you it's a normal good. Remember, normal good is income up, demand increases. Income down, demand decreases. So income elasticity is a positive number. It means it's a normal good. If it's a negative number, it means it's an inferior good. So that would be income up, demand down. All right. Income elasticity only determines if it's a normal or an inferior good. Again, same type of formula setup. Percentage change of quantity demanded on top, but since it's income elasticity, percentage change of income on the bottom. Again, positive number, normal good, negative number, inferior good. The next type of elasticity is cross price. Now, again, percentage change of quantity demanded is going to be on the top, but it's going to be the percentage change of quantity demanded of good A over the percentage change of price of good B. Now, this is going to tell you, is it a substitute or a complement? A positive number says it's a substitute. So if the number is positive, it's going to be like Coke and Pepsi. So if the price of Coke goes up, right, the demand for Pepsi goes up. So that would be a positive number. And then if it's a negative number, it's a complement. So cross price elasticity, again, it's important to know if it's negative or positive, and also only can determine is it a substitute or a complement. So let's quickly review the three. Demand elasticity, absolute value, does not matter about negative or positive. Greater than 1, elastic. 1, unit elastic. Less than 1, inelastic. Okay. The second one that we will look at is income elasticity. Positive number, normal good. Negative number, inferior good. That's all that can be determined by income elasticity. Okay. Like sometimes they try to trick you and they'll give you a price change. Price changes have nothing to do with income elasticity. The third thing is cross price elasticity. All that can determine is substitutes and complements. Positive number, substitute. Negative number, complement. Okay? Now we get supply and its determinants. All right. Now, computing the price elasticity of supply, that's talking about the measure, of how much quantity supply responds to a change in price. And you pretty much have the same formula, except it's the percentage change of quantity supplied over the percentage change in price. Again, greater than 1, elastic. 1, unit elastic. Less than 1, inelastic. And really for supply, again, that is perfectly inelastic like demand. The closer to an I, you get kind of, and then you have perfectly elastic. So just to go back quickly, perfectly inelastic, same, the curve looks the same as a perfectly inelastic demand curve, and perfectly elastic. All right. Now, they give you this, can good news be bad news for farmers? Well, wheat is an inelastic product. And if there's technology that could get you to make more wheat and increase the supply of wheat, well, if supply shifts right, price goes down and total revenue goes down. So while you're supplying more wheat and you could theoretically think you're making more money, the price is going to go down and your total revenue is going to go down. So that's like, can good news be bad news for farmers? Okay, that pretty much wraps up this chapter. And we're going to stop here.